Good evening, everyone. This is Michael from BroJMR Productions. I have a question to ponder of you. What would you do if you fell into a ravine and you woke up 4.5 hours later? Only it hasn't been 4.5 hours. It's been 8 years. And you haven't aged a bit. What would you do? Well, this very thing happened to a kid named David back in 1978. He woke up, and all of a sudden it was 1986. 8 years had passed, and he hadn't aged a bit. In tonight's episode of Michael Movies Reviews, I reviewed Walt Disney's Flight of the Navigator. Now, Flight of the Navigator opened on August 1st, 1986. Its total domestic take was about $18.5 million, which is not bad considering it only had a $9 million budget. So it doubled its take, and that's just box office. That's not including any home video sales, DVD sales. So it was actually a success. Believe it or not, you only made $9 million over your budget. That's not really considered anything, but if you look at the time, that's a lot of money, and it did quite well. Did get an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, so overall it's a decent flick. Basic premise of the movie: David, 12-year-old kid, falls in this ravine, wakes up, he's got this head full of star charts and all kinds of information about galaxies and all this high-tech future sci-fi information. And the ship in this movie is looking for him, finds him, gets the information out of his head because the ship crashed into a electrical tower while looking at flowers. I know we're really stretching it here, but keep following with me. Takes him about 2 seconds to scan the information out of the kid's head, and the rest of the movie is him going back home. That's about it. But it's a decent movie. It's really good. I'm thinking that I like it so much because this was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cool that they actually casted a kid in this flick, and they give him the opportunity to go on this great adventure. He gets to go inside this really cool spaceship. He gets to fly around the world. He gets to go up into space. He gets to go underneath the ocean. This is a cool ship. It can change shapes. It's fast. I mean, it does 20 miles. They travel 20 miles in about 39 seconds, which is the equivalent of 2,000 miles an hour. That's pretty bad, Oh yeah, by the way, the ship is voiced by Mr. Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Rubin. That's awesome. This is 1986. This is before Pee Wee's Playhouse. This is before the stage show that Pee Wee's Playhouse was made off of. Paul Rubin was still a member of his comedy troupe, The Groundlings. And he got this voiceover thing, and that was probably one of the best parts of this movie, is Pee Wee Herman is in this movie. So that's awesome. Also in this movie, like I said, the kid's name is Joey Kramer, the kid who plays David, and he doesn't have very many acting credits. The only other big thing that he ever did was a movie in 1984 called Runaways with Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons, a futuristic sci-fi flick, another futuristic sci-fi flick, which is actually really good, by the way. Gene Simmons plays an amazing, awesome, cool, kick-ass bad guy in it. Also, Sarah Jessica Parker's in this flick. If you hadn't seen this movie, hey, she's there. 2 years previous, she was in Footloose, and now she's in this movie. This is still one of her earlier credits. This is before, obviously, before all the Sex and the City stuff. But I gotta say, she's hot in this flick. She is. She is hot in this movie. And I'm thinking maybe it's because, you know, she's 20-ish, 19, 20-ish, in 1986. Maybe it's just me, but I have this thing about 80s chicks, man. I love the 80s. The fashions, the hair, and this epitomizes this. Her character epitomizes this movie. And this movie actually just screams all kinds of 80s references. NASA plays a big part of this movie. If you think I think it was like, what, 2 years before that, the Challenger has exploded, so they're trying to get, you know, I think they're trying to get NASA back into the limelight and say something good. So, let's see, we got, they mentioned New Coke. You really got to dig back to remember the New Coke. Twisted Sister, MTV. There's a brand new packaged Megatron Transformer in it, and so it's the 80s, man. It's the 80s. It's cool. As with all Disney flicks, they did put some references to other stuff in their movies. Disney has a theme park that opened 4 years previous to that called Epcot. Everybody knows what Epcot is, but Epcot opened in 1982, and there's a little girl wearing an Epcot t-shirt in this movie. And so, way to go, Disney, for trying to plug your theme parks. Also, one of the creatures is from a galaxy called Pixar Elliptic. Yes, Pixar. This is before Disney acquired Pixar, obviously, considering they acquired it in 2006. So this is 20 years before Disney acquired Pixar. Pixar was still a small computer animation studio and doing computer animation and computer like CGI special effects. At the time, it was owned by LucasArts, and it was working on the Star Wars films. So I thought that was a nice inside joke, and it was an inside joke. It was not just a coincidence that they threw out the name Pixar. This was planned. What else about this? It's actually the second Disney branded movie to swear, to have profanity in it. I was shocked when I was a kid and I heard the kid, David's brother, saying, don't let him give you any shit. And I was like shocked. I was like, they can't swear, it's Disney. What's up with this? It was actually the second time ever that a Disney branded movie had profanity in it. And why? My, how things have changed. Let's see, what else can I say about this movie? Oh yeah, Randall Kleiser. He directed this flick. He also directed Grease. Probably, let's see, it was 1978, so 8 years previously, he had just got done, he had directed Grease. And there's a nod to Grease in this movie. At the beginning of the flick, David and his family are coming home from a picnic, and they open the car door, and right before they turn the car off, there is, playing on the car radio, is You're the One That I Want from Grease. So that was a nice little throw in from his, that he did there. Randall Kleiser also directed Starsky and Hutch. That happened to be one of David's favorite TV shows, so that's a nice little homage there. I don't know what else to say about this flick. It's great. I loved it as a kid. I still love it now. It's cool. It's a wholesome family movie, and it's definitely worth checking out. So that's about it. Until next time, check out our other videos. If you like our channel, subscribe to us. Please be sure to check out Jonathan's 46 Challenge October edition. He's done with it now. He has 12 videos, all kinds of different horror movies, so check them out. Until next time, peace.